going on YouTube? It's your boy, guy with ASMR microphone. Let me see. You don't believe me? Check it out. Oh, God. I can hear it in my headphones. Anyway, so today I'm taking a look at the Eosmon line from BT6. Again, we're doing another deck profile for BT6. And I think that inquiring minds want to know, how many level 5 Eosmons should you include? So let's take a look and let's talk about it today. Alrighty, so first up, we're gonna go over, like I've done in the past couple of vids, I want to take a look at just the combo pieces in the deck and then let you guys kind of figure out the rest of the stuff to fill out the 50 cards that you want. So let's take a look at your boss stack first. For your level 3, we're gonna have your Morphomon. Man, Japanese is hard to read sometimes. Who is your searcher for the deck. You know, open up 5 cards when you play him, and then between Manoa Bellucci or Digimon named Eosmon, you can add one of each to your hand. Rest go to the bottom of the deck. You know the deal. Oh, keep in mind, this effect is actually on deletion. My bad. If I said on play, I meant on deletion. JK. Then you got your level 4 Eosmon, who... this effect still kind of worries me for the future. But anyway, you play him raw, you can play level 4 White Tamer or lower from your hand for free. And then your opponent can do the same. That is pretty good. And then on the inheritance, whenever you attack, you can play a 4-cost White Tamer from your hand for free, and your opponent can't. That seems strong. Damn. Anyway, yeah, this is a pretty decent card, but you can only have 4 copies of this in your deck, so yeah, you're probably not gonna find it that often. But when you do, it's a great way to get a Tamer out. Mr. 50 cards in the deck himself. Good old level 5 Eosmon, being able to evolve from white or green. On attack, basically he can play a level 5 or lower copy of an Eosmon from your hand onto the board, which is very, very strong. He multiplies. That means that if you have a level 4 Eosmon, you can get its own play effect by just simply attacking with this guy here, and then get the Tamer out for free as well. And then on inheritance, he gives the level 6 Digimon plus 1000 DP. Not bad. Ooh, and here we go. The Big Mama herself, level 6 Eosmon, being able to add... for every Tamer you and your opponent have on the board when she's digivolved into, you can add a copy of an Eosmon from your trash onto the sources of this card. And if you add 2 sources by this card's effect, it allows you to delete one of your opponent's Digimon outright. And then additionally, for every 3 sources you have, she gains security attack plus 1. So if you can get the first effect off, which is getting at least 2 sources so you can delete a Digimon, plus the fact that she has to digivolve from something, means that you're guaranteed for this card to be security attack 2 minimum. Unless you're like struggling, somehow you get this out in the early game and you have no Eosmons in the trash, but you probably shouldn't be playing this card if you're doing that. Anyway, security attack 2 minimum from a card that also gets buffed up from, you know, the level 5s on it. So, on your turn when this swings, it's potentially, 14 or 15,000 plus, which means this can go toe-to-toe with things like Omegamon, Megamon Zwart, yeah, all the heavy hitters. And that's really it for the boss monster security stack. Most of the time you're going to be playing Eosmons out raw, which is fine. You'd think that, 5 hard play is not great, but Eosmon being able to replicate itself once you get one onto the board is really strong. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the support for the Tamers that you're going to be playing in this deck. So first up, of course, Manoa Bellucci. This is like the support Tamer for the deck, which allows you to, beginning your turn, if you have less than 3 memory, go to 3. So it's a 3 memory minimum Tamer. Now it's hard to say. Additionally, whenever you hard play an Eosmon, you can rest this Tamer, and you can look at the top 3 cards from your deck and find either a Tamer card or a Digimon named Eosmon added to your hand. Not bad. And then at the start of your opponent's turn, their Tamers do not unsuspend, which means that you're going to be removing secondary effects from most Tamers in the game as of recording. Which means things that they'll tap to get, or rest to get plus 1 memory, or rest to get plus 1 card draw, or rest to remove Digivolution sources isn't gonna happen anymore. They're gonna get the minimum memory requirement stuff, but yeah, you can't stop that. But still really strong as far as just negating secondary effects. Next up, and I don't think this is a surprise to anyone, the double Tamer. Slight flex with the parallel ray there. Matt and Ty, which basically gives you +2 memory if your opponent has a level 6, as well as plus security attack 1 if you have an Omegamon, but this deck doesn't. So you're typically just playing this card for the additional 2 memory if your opponent gets level 6 Digimon on the board. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, if I'm able to delete Digimon with my Eosmon, how often am I going to see an opponent's level 6 Digimon stick around for very long? And I hear you, and that's why I run just a little bit of spice. This is the East special spice right here. The Double Tamer, Sora and Joe. While this isn't a blue deck by any stretch of the imagination, it's mostly white-green, this Tamer does give you the effect of being able to remove sources from your opponent's Digimon, which I think is a great defensive tool, as well as if they don't have a source on a Digimon, it gives you +2 memory again. So that means that minimum for a turn, you're going to go to 3. And then if your opponent has level 6, then you're going to go, +2 to 5. And then if they have something without sources, you're going to go to +2 for 7. What I don't ever foresee that happening very often, where you get all 3 effects in the same turn, but what I do like is the fact that these 2 Tamers paired up together creates a very narrow space for your opponent to not give you free memory, where they have to have either a level 3, usually level 4, level 5 out, and it not have any sources removed, as well as not having level 6 that will be able to challenge your Eosmon. So I think these 2 cards together are a nice pairing that it stops your opponent from, making some plays that they would normally make, because they would be giving you up to, 7, 9 memory, which I think is really nice. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other cards that I've used to round out the deck. These are just a couple of options. Again, you can run some other stuff if you want. This is just my opinion. I think that the deck, you're going to be running so many copies of level 5 Eosmon, as well as the rest of the, the Tamer support, that you really are going to need searchers. And I think these cards, I'll start with this one here, really help out the search ability of this deck. The first one's going to be Wormmon, who, again, on deletion allows you to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and there's level 4 or level 5 in there, you can grab it, put it into your hand. Additionally, you've got your BT1 Togemon. I actually had a rough time trying to find this in Tokyo, which means I think people knew about the tech before I got my hands on it. But being able to, take a look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then grab any level 5, color specific, no requirement here. So there's some searches that allow you to get a green level 5, but if you're playing with Eosmon, you need to not have that color specificity in the text. So Togemon is the perfect target for this deck then. And then finally, the deck needs a little bit of defense. Sometimes you're not going to be able to find your Eosmon very quickly, or you're going to need to search out a little bit longer, and I think Kabuterimon is there just to give you some time to do that actual searching. And that's really it. Yeah, the deck I think is... Searchability of this deck with the addition of Wormmon and Togemon really makes it a little bit more consistent. And then once you hit your Eosmon, you can just kind of go crazy. You're going to go not only tall with your level 6, but also wide with your level 5s being able to replicate themselves. So I think once you get to a single level 5, it's really almost inevitable that you're going to get to your level 6s, no problem. And yeah, that's it. So if you like the deck, let me know in the comments below if there's some other cards you would put instead of some of the searchers. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. What are some of the splits that you guys would use, especially for the Tamers? And yeah, I guess I'll catch you next time. Yeah, that's about it. You can end the video now, you can just... Would you like and subscribe?